We've been joined by Andy Tiller from ip.access, who's going to show us one of their latest applications for Femtocell. Andy, what have you got to show us here?
Well, Keith, we're going to show you our virtual fridge notes application. So the idea is that it uses information provided by the Femtocell about who's at home and when people get home to deliver reminder messages to people when they arrive in the home. The Femtocell we have down here, and here we have a phone. Now, let me also introduce you as part of this demonstration to Paul. Paul is operating our keyboard here. Paul actually in this scenario has a friend called Marcin, and he's lent his goldfish to Marcin while he has some decorating done at home. And the trouble is Marcin's a little bit forgetful, and so Paul wants to remind Marcin to feed the fish when he gets home. Marcin's at work at the moment. We can tell that because when Paul logs into Facebook and looks at Marcin's page, he can see Marcin's status is set to work there. Now, Paul can actually use Facebook to leave a message for Marcin using this little application which we call My Femtozone here. So he opens the application which is sitting on Marcin's Facebook page. He then types in a message, so remember to feed the fish, and clicks send. And you'll notice there it says that that's programmed to go to Marcin only when he gets home. So while Marcin's at work, it's not going to deliver the note. But as soon as Marcin gets through the door, that's when the Femtocell knows that Marcin gets home. It tells Facebook through the internet, and Facebook delivers the messages via SMS to Marcin's phone.
So for people thinking, well, why not just send an SMS? What you're saying is, because it's triggered when he gets home, it will be more immediate for him, and he might remember. If he looks at it at work, he might have forgotten before he gets home.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no point in reminding Marcin. I know Marcin. There's no point in reminding him when he's at work. He'll have completely forgotten it by the time he gets home. The only time to remind him is when he gets home. That's when he needs to get the reminder. So if we put the phone over here near the home Femtocell, then what happens is that the Femtocell detects that Marcin is now at home. And the first thing that you'll see is that if Paul refreshes the Facebook page, we'll see that Marcin's Facebook status is automatically updated to show that he's at home. The second thing that happens is that Marcin actually receives his fridge note. So here on the phone, he's got one new message, and if we open it, we can see it's a message from Paul reminding him to feed the fish. So that's the basic idea, is that the reminder messages are delivered as people get home, which is the right time. It's a bit like finding a note on the fridge, but this is not very much like a fridge, is it? It's more like an SMS message. So what we have is a more exciting application for the iPhone where it actually is a fridge. So here I've got a lovely iPhone, and in this case we'll see what happens when a reminder message arrives, and actually the phone that the user has is an iPhone. So Paul's going to send another message now. He's just remembered that he's left another animal of some kind. It'll be a surprise to us. We'll see what animal Paul's reminding us to feed now. But this time, if the phone's an iPhone, then a little reminder note pops up. It says here, fridge note, you have a new note. And if I find the fridge note application, you can see it actually looks like a fridge. It's a virtual fridge. And a little new message arrives, zooms in from the internet. It's the red one here. And it's a message from Paul reminding us to feed, or reminding Marcin to feed the cat. So with this little fridge notes application, I can manage all the notes and things that I've got to do, or Marcin can manage all the things that he's got to do on the fridge here.
Excellent, bit of fun, I suppose, but also I suppose you're showing the way that the presence in the Femtocell could be tied up with different messaging services.
Exactly. Everything is based on the idea that the Femtocell knows who's at home and when they get home. In our case, what we've done is we've implemented it in the mobile operator's network. So the Femto Gateway, as it's called, recognises when the phone comes home due to what's called a location update that happens when the phone selects the home Femtocell. So the operator's Femto Gateway then calls out to Facebook to tell Facebook to update the status and to collect any messages that have been left there. But equally well, the application could be running on the Femtocell itself, which has a direct connection to the internet, so it needn't go back into the core network. Or it could even be running on the phone. So when the phone comes home, the application in the phone detects that the phone is home, and it establishes a connection to the internet and collects the messages that way. So there are different ways to do it. One of the things that we're involved in is with the Femto Forum's Services Special Interest Group, where a lot of vendors are and operators are collaborating together to make sure that all of these ways of doing it are open and standards based, so that application developers will be able to build applications that make use of this home presence information that Femtocells provide, wherever they are. So they could be working with the operator or they could be working independently.
Sure, because obviously you've done the Facebook app and the iPhone app there, but obviously there's loads of developers who could be thinking about the potential for their own apps there.
Exactly. This one would be tied to the network operator, but we really want to develop an ecosystem where application developers, writing in their garage, can build applications that work on any network with any Femtocell and take advantage of the unique home presence information that the Femto can provide. Thanks
for showing us the application. Very interesting. For ip.access itself at the moment, what news have you got for us that's moved on since we last spoke in February?
Well, one of the exciting things that happened last week was that we won a Global Telecoms Business Award for our 2G picocell, which is being deployed by Blue Ocean Wireless on ships, merchant ships. What's quite exciting about that for us is that it does make a real difference to merchant seamen's lives. They describe being on board ship as a bit like being in prison, but with the added risk of drowning. So the ability to use their ordinary mobile phones to call home is actually quite a benefit to them. So our 2G picocells are being installed on merchant ships all over the globe, and that won an award last week. In the meantime, we continue good progress with our 3G femtocell technology and our new 3G picocell, both of which are going into some significant deployments and trials at the moment. So that's all very exciting.
And your view of how the European market might look at the moment? I know you're working with AT&T in the US. How would you sort of think things are working out in Europe at the moment for the femtocell market?
Well, a lot of people have speculated that the European market is going to be slow and a long way behind the US, which has essentially a bigger issue with basic mobile phone coverage at home. But it's encouraging to see this week that European operators are actually announcing consumer launches for femtocells, and that's really exciting for the industry as a whole. So we welcome that.